there guys, welcome to this tutorial. I'm Christou from Toonboxstudio.com, and this is a quick walkthrough of Sketchbook Pro 7's new animation flipbook feature. Have in mind, this is not an animation tutorial, it is just a walkthrough. I'm going to show you what each little feature does in detail so you have an exact knowledge of exactly what they do and what it offers. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, we need to come up here to File, and let's hit the new flipbook here. So we'll go to the flipbook side of things. You'll be presented with this cool panel for your project. And let's set things up. The first thing is presets, pretty straightforward. You choose one of the 3 presets here, or you can go to custom, which allows you to input any size you want, but I'm sure there is a maximum limit. I'm not sure what it is, but you can ask the guys at Sketchbook. I'm gonna choose full HD for this project. Then we have the playback frame rates, how many frames per second. I'm gonna choose 24, but you have these 4 options right here. And last thing is the frame numbers, which means how many frames your project will consist of, how many frames on the timeline from start to finish. Now here's a piece of advice from me to you. Plan everything out first on paper. Draw your little thumbnails, your whole animation sequence, plan it out, do all the timing and stuff. Once you know exactly how many frames the sequence needs or the scene that you're going to be creating, come back here and input it here in the little box there, and you're good to go, and press OK. I'm going to leave it as 240 for now, but there's no reason to have an extra 100 empty frames that's just going to sit there. So anyway, so we're here now on the flipbook side. Now as you can see, everything is exactly the same as the Sketchbook side of Sketchbook Pro. The only thing different is they've changed this layers panel right here, and they've inserted this new feature which is called the timeline, which is where all the animation takes place. And let's dive in and let me show you what they do. First of all, let's start with the layers panel. Okay, so first of all, these layers are synced to the timeline, so they're synced to each single frame. Let's start with the bottom one here, background color. You can see the white canvas, the page is white. If you don't like the white color, you hit this little circle. You get all the colors of the rainbow right here, so you can change it to any color you want. If you don't want to have white, you want something cooler, then you can do something like this, and that's what it does. I'm going to leave it as white for now. Now to the background, which is the important thing I need to explain. It's a static layer. And what does that mean? Let's say you want to create a scene or a sequence, and you want your character to walk in, jump in, run around, singing, whatever you want to do. You want a background. You come to this background layer, make sure it's highlighted. See the little blue box around it? That means you've highlighted the layer. And when you're on this layer, you draw your background and it's static. You cannot do anything to it. It will start from frame 1 and it will go all the way to the final frame of your project. No matter where you are on this timeline, if you end up drawing on the background, it will just add it to all the frames. So to have that in mind, it's a static layer, static image. But there are some cool tricks that you can do with that. Then you have these 2 layers up here, the foreground and the midground, which are the only ones you can animate on. The background layer, you cannot animate at all. You can't even pan the background or anything like that. It's just a static layer. These 2 layers you can animate on. They're fully editable. As you see, it says foreground, midground. Okay, well, in my opinion, I see it as layer 1, layer 2, and then background is layer 3. So layer 1's on top of the rest and so forth. The layers panel is completely different from the Sketchbook side. You cannot add a layer, you cannot delete a layer and all that cool stuff. You can't do it. All you can do is basically, if I draw a little squiggly mark, you see the eyes on the layers. If you click that, it hides it. Click it, brings it back, and that is it. So you have to be a little bit more smarter when you're using your layers, because you're very limited to what you can do. So that's what the layers do, and now let's go into the timeline. So you can see the timelines from here all the way here. Okay, so that's the timeline. That's where we record every single image on each one of these frames all the way through. As you can see, frame 1, it's got this little white rectangle. That means there's a keyframe on there. If there's a keyframe on there, you can actually draw and do your animation on. And it goes all the way through. This graded out area means there has no keyframes on there. So to delete this keyframe, you just come to this area here where you've got these 4 options. You've got this big X right there. If you press that, it goes away. If you want to add a keyframe, you go to this guy here in the top left and you press it, it adds a keyframe. And also, let me demonstrate. Hold on, let me show you a quick. Let me draw a little smiley face. Okay. And also, when you're drawing, you can still use all the cool features. You can for example, I can go select it and move it around as well and all that stuff. I can do all the cool stuff that we could do on Sketchbook Pro side of things. But yeah, so I've drawn this smiley face on frame 1, okay? And if I was to, if I can duplicate this image. So if I wanted to highlight this one and press this button here, the 2 plus signs, it allows you to duplicate an image. So I've got it on both here. So if I was to write on the frame 1, I was to write a nice big number 1 there, and on frame 2 I write number 2, so you can see the difference, that 1, 2, 1, 2. It duplicated the image, so you can keep a duplicate version, and then just delete it if you don't want it. If you want to put an empty keyframe between these two, you gotta decide where you want the empty keyframe to be placed. So if I want to put it between these two, that means I want this picture to go here on frame 3 to put an empty keyframe there. So make sure you highlighted this frame. Oh, by the way, to know if you're on a frame, you see that blue box all the way around? That means you're on that frame. So if I want to put an empty frame here on number 2, and you just press this empty keyframe button right here, it bangs it there and it pushed the other image to frame 3. Okay, and you can also delete them just like so. Very, very simple, straightforward. Okay, so that's how this works. So that's all about adding keyframes and stuff like that and deleting them. Let's go over here now. Now you see this red key right here. If it's red, that means it's on. If it's black, it's turned off. Now what does this little key do? Let's say draw something on frame 1. Let's draw this smiley face, for example. And then I'll select the frame 2. Instead of coming here to add a keyframe, if you have this key turned on and it's nice and red, and watch this, when I start drawing, it will automatically add an extra keyframe for me, which is really, really cool. I don't personally use that because I'm a bit clumsy. I might accidentally stroke on the page on an empty keyframe and it will add a keyframe for me, which I don't want it to do. So if you're not so clumsy as me, then you can go ahead and use that cool feature, but I prefer to have it off. Let's see what else. We've got this, which is the loop. If you have that on, if you see both arrows, that means it's going to be looping over and over again your sequence. So let me show you a little quick demonstration. Let's say, let me make a few keyframes here. I'm going to put about 7 or 8, whoops, 9, there we go. Let me put 7 frames. And on each one, I'll just put the number 1, 2, nice and basic, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so if I scrub through this, there you go. Okay, you can see the whole animation going on with these numbers. Okay, so if I wanted Sketchbook Pro to play this back to me, you come down to this section here, which is the playback controls. Now you all know what these things do. So if I was to press, for example, but let's say I'm somewhere in the middle and I want to go to the back, to the start of the frame. You might have 100 frames. You just press this first key right here, and it takes you back to the first frame. This guy here and this guy are to go to next frame. So this one will go forward 1 frame and this one will go back 1 frame. Play just plays from where it is, and this one I think plays all, from the beginning to start to finish, which is really cool. Now as you can see, it's going and going as I stopped. It goes all the way until it reaches the final frame. Okay, so I don't want that. So what we have to do is, at the beginning here, we want to tell Sketchbook Pro to play just these 7 frames and loop over and over and over again. So this is what you're going to do. Now you see this grey little bar here at the bottom? If you look carefully, at the left corner it says number 1 and on the right says number 24. What that means is that it's showing us in the timeline frame number 1 up to frame 24. Okay, so if I press loop, it will play up to 24 and come back again. Okay, but if you want to show just these 7, what you need to do is you need to drag this bar back until the number says 7, 8, 7. Bang. There we go. And now if I was to press play, it will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I can't even count that. It will go on and on and on, and I gotta stop this before I fall over from being dizzy. So that's what that does. If you want to see more frames, you drag it up to whatever you want. I think the maximum here says 39. I'm not 100% sure how you do this. I think you have to drag it to see a next bunch of them. But that's how it works. If I find out more details about this bar, I'll let you know in the future. But besides that, that's what these things do. I'm gonna bring it back down to about 20. All right, so delete, and delete this one as well. Let me delete them all. Right, I'm gonna show you a little quick example now of what the light box features or the onion box thing does. So let's say I've got on frame 1 a nice little smiley face again. Yeah, this cute little smiley face. There it is, right there. Okay, so we've got the smiley face on frame 1, And I decided on frame 3 to insert another keyframe, and this time I'm going to draw the smiley face looking towards this direction, and yeah, there we go. We've got the smiley face guy looking towards over there, yeah? So if I go back to frame 1, you've got the smiley face looking here, number 3 is over there. So I want to put an in-between in the middle. I hit new keyframe, but I can't see the before and after frames. That's where these two little guys here come into play. Now, if you notice, it's a black square, and behind it is an empty square sort of thing. When you turn it on, the left one, bang, it becomes a black square behind. Can you see that? It's showing me, well, actually it's showing me 2 frames, but it's showing me now 1 frame behind. Okay, so if I was to draw now an image here on frame 2, I can see my frame before, which is this one. Okay, and the same thing goes on this side as well. If I click the right hand side, it shows me 1 frame in front. And you notice it's ghosted, it's nice and opaque, it's toned down so I can see through it as well. So now I'm on frame 2, I could draw the in-between and so forth and carry on my little animation process. Which is really, really cool. If you're a Flash user or a Toon Boom user, you know what this is called, the onion skinning. If you're a traditional animator, it's called the lightbox. And that's what it is. And you can also select as many, up to 10 frames going back, okay? So, which is really, really cool. Keyframes, I think that's keyframes, it should be, anyway. And you got up to 10, so if you had like a bunch of them, let's say I was to go to frame 4 now, and insert a keyframe, and if I was to set here 3 images back, it'll show me this one, and this one in a row, and I can continue drawing on my animation. So that's what's really, really cool about this feature. I usually leave it as 1 or 2. I sometimes have 10 if I want to see the whole motion, the arc of the animation direction, the flow, just to get and make sure I'm on track and stuff like that. But that's what that's for. So that's basically it, guys. I think I've covered everything. I'm not sure if I left anything out. So that's about it, guys. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick little demo. I'm going to test it out for myself now, and I'm going to show you a little speed animation. So I'll be right back, and I'll give you my feedback at the end of the video. See you in a sec. Okay, I'm back, and what you're seeing right now is a drawing of my personal character called Cherry. So if you're new, go ahead and check out the rest of my channel up. It's all based upon her and some really cool videos. Go have fun. Other than that, let's get stuck in. And what I've done is I've drawn Cherry's body on the background layer. And why did I do that? It's a little trick I can show you, because the layer system is so simple and limited that we need to be a little bit more smarter than usual so we can be more flexible with this system. It's still the early stages, it's a brand new feature, FlipBook, so we don't know where it's going to go in the future, but I'm sure they're going to develop it and make, boost this layers panel to make it more, friendly, user friendly for us, so we can do more things. But at the moment, this is what we're going to be doing. So check this out. This is a little cool little trick. What I'm going to be doing to Cherry is I'm going to take her leg that is pointing up, and I'm going to do a little basic animation, just make the leg go back down and come back up again. It's going to be looping over and over again, going down, up, down, up. But the rest of her body will be static. So I've drawn the body on the background layer so I can have 2 free layers on top. And so I'm going to use the mid-ground layer to animate this leg going down and up. Okay, so what you can do with this little trick is, let's say you have an idea, you've got your scene planned out, whatever, you've got a character, and he's going to be talking and doing something. Maybe the only thing you want to move is his mouth, his facial features, and his arm or something. The rest of the body, which is going to be static for those few seconds, you can just put that on the background layer, and you can have the other 2 layers above free for you to do whatever you want. Maybe you want to animate the arm on one layer and have some overlapping action on another layer, maybe some cloth moving, I don't know, whatever you guys can think of. So that's a cool little trick to be able to think a little bit smarter with this layer system to be more flexible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to speed things up a little bit, and I'll see you guys at the end of this process. I'm going to animate this leg going up and down, and I'll give you my honest opinion and feedback review of this cool FlipBook new feature of Sketchbook Pro. See you guys in a moment. and I'm back, and here's the leg action, up, down, it was really cool. I enjoyed it, it was a lot of fun, and it was exactly how I expected it, a nice user-friendly software, you know, just like Sketchbook Pro is user-friendly. I just want to say a few words to Sketchbook Pro. I'm sure the guys at Sketchbook are going to be watching this video, but here's my feedback, and this is what I honestly think should be added to this FlipBook's awesome feature in the near future. If you decide to develop it, is the layer system. It will be cool if we can have like at least a few basics like add a layer, delete a layer, and maybe lower the opacity up and down and stuff like that. On the timeline, I had to scrub along the timeline back and forward to see my frames and my keys and stuff. So it'd be cool if I can have if we can have like a shortcut on the keyboard that can flip from key to key or frame to frame, you know, like the left and right arrow keys or something. That'd be awesome. It would be really easier to do. Maybe to import images and sound would be cool, so we can animate lip sync and musicality and that stuff. And finally, to be able to export to a video format, because at the moment all we can do is go to File, Export Image, or Images, frame of all the frames of the sequence. And that means that all you gotta do is import those frames into another software, like an editing software or another animation software, to finish off what you're gonna do. So that's my feedback, my opinions. Guys, leave your feedback in the comments section. I'm sure the guys at Sketchbook Pro will appreciate it if you leave your feedback and ideas of how they can develop this for us. Okay, so go ahead and leave your comments there. And stick around for next week. I'm going to be coming back with FlipBook Part 2, where I'll be showing you how I color her up and clean her up and what stuff. And I might even animate the other leg going the other way, because it looks kind of weird, just her static there with one leg going down. But yeah, cool little demo, and I enjoyed it. So I'm Christou from Toonboxstudio.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on another video. Bye-bye for now.